My name is Andrew Thorp King. This is the Failure Rules Podcast, because after it sucks, failure rules. The more I live, the more I evolve on the degree in which I choose to attribute ideas and beliefs around my approach to life to any sort of political ideology. While the dotted lines certainly exist, and I certainly care about what's going on in the world and the reasonably attributable political causalities, I don't find that seeing everything deliberately through a political lens is necessary, helpful, or enlightening. Insights, principles, practices, and carefully honed attitudes and beliefs can stand quite well on their own without being slapped with some rigid political wrapper. And they certainly don't all need to line up in some perfect check-the-box resemblance to any one ideology or platform. Generally, I align most closely to comedian Bill Burr's attitudes toward associations. Fuck you and your group. That's how Bill would put it. What this means is that I find danger in over-identifying with any group, ideology, or movement. Once you telegraph a hard association with a group, you are then tagging yourself to the larger messaging that the group collectively grows to embody over time. You cannot control how this develops. And then out of investment bias, you are then susceptible to accepting all the scope creep and scope change that the group then takes on, even if this brings the group's platform, mission, or ideology far away from its original form. Yet, there you still may be, defending your original association with the group or ideology out of a desire to appear consistent or avoid charges of flip-flopping or tribal heresy. Hard associations subject you to being whoever the media say you must be at any given moment in the fluid zeitgeist of fickle culture. Author, investor, and former CEO of AngelList.com, Naval Ravikant, once identified as a libertarian, but he found himself defending positions simply because they were deemed as libertarian ones. He was not comfortable with this, so he stopped identifying as a libertarian. And just because I do not want to over-identify with any group, movement, or ideology, it doesn't mean that I won't identify at all. I just try to be diligent in articulating the fragility of my associations. They are conditional. They are soft associations. I loosely associate with being an entrepreneur, a punk rocker, a Christian, and a libertarian, among other labels. Again, I say loosely because I do have deeply held beliefs connected to each category, and I have a unique perspective on what I see as a common through line that ties them all together. But I say loosely because I believe that Ralph Waldo Emerson was right when he said that a fool's consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. So in this, I leave room for discovery around what I don't know to inform change in my beliefs that are only currently based on what I think I know. These changes don't happen often, but when they do, they are meaningful. I also qualify these associations as loose because what these labels mean to any given culture, society, or individual amidst different inflection points throughout history mean very different things. I know that what they even mean to me expands, mutates, and grows over time. So while my beliefs, even if developing, are held seriously and deeply, my certainty in them is held loosely and with humility. So all of this to say that as I loosely associate with a general libertarian approach to life, putting politics firmly out of scope for the moment, because politics is downstream from culture and personal ethos, it is that lens of libertarianism through which I often filter my response to the failures that have challenged me. So in this, my strongest energies amidst any failure confrontation are directed towards identifying all the possible ways in which the failure was due to my own lack of judgment, poor execution, or preparation derelictions. With the fidelity toward the supremacy of individualism, I choose to first look at myself before looking outward. I look in the mirror before I stare out the window. This strategy helps me to organize a failure management plan that maximizes personal responsibility and leverages the maximization of personal freedom. Marrying maximum freedom with maximum responsibility means that you must own your failures, their consequences, and their cures as much as is possible. Now, this is rarely a 100% ownership title, but it is a noble aim to try and make it the highest percentage you possibly can. Then, you regretfully fill in the gaps as needed by accepting the graces and leveraging the assistance of outside individuals, charitable organizations, and entities of power. This is how you position yourself to get the most out of your failures, to honor the sovereignty of your individuality, and to minimize your touch on others as an unnecessary burden. Bootstrap yourself to maximum capacity first. Then, secondly, fill in the gaps with the duct tape and beer cans and belts and suspenders apparatus built by others. Harness your inner libertarian and marry maximum responsibility with maximum freedom in your failure management approach. And, as you do, don't forget to hold your ideological associations loose, even while applying them organically to the ongoing decision sequences of your mysterious calling journey path.